All right, I put a tool together I wanted to share. So basically, I've had a lot of I've had questions from guys, particularly if you have a more complex blade style, trying to get localized lockup added. So I've been messing with this for a while, so it's finally at a point where I can share it. So essentially, I built a tool that will work with Style Editor. I still got to do most of the work in Style Editor. What this tool does is it just kind of helps with localized lockup and a few other things. So what I'm showing here in Style Editor, which handles most everything, I've just built a complex style. So this is the main blade style. There's no clash, no blast, no lockup, no drag. This is just the effects I want only for my main blade. So I built them in Style Editor, got them formatted, and then from here now, what we're going to do is I'm going to copy. You can either right click and choose copy, or you can also use Control C. And now I'm going to go over to this localized lockup generator tool. It's a very simple tool. This won't check syntax. This won't check to make sure that what you're putting in is correct. It's basically just a simple form that's going to take what you put in and then format it correctly to get localized lockup and some other effects in place. So I have my main style I built in Style Editor. I'm going to come over here. I'm just going to right click and paste, or you can use Control V. So I put that in. Now that that's in, I can go and choose through the other basic stuff. So I can choose if I want an InOutHelper. And then you can edit all these fields. So what I'm doing is taking the default values for Style Editor and putting them in for each of these. So I can change my time, I can change off color. If you have effects that you want to run while the blade is off, you would put them in here. All these fields where it says style or color, it can take just a straight color, or it can take a style. The style will have to be properly formatted in Style Editor, though. If you're missing a bracket or if you have a typo, this tool won't be able to see that, unfortunately. I can add OnSpark if I wanted to, but I can also just choose my blast effect. I can set these, change any value I want. Now if I happen to remove a value, I will get an error message telling you what's missing. For anything that is required, I'll choose a clash effect, and then again you can edit any of these. And then lastly, I'm going to do I can choose my lockup. So if you choose full blade, that's just the standard lockup effect. So whatever style you put in is going to affect the whole blade. But I also have localized lockup and force lightning lockup, which are the two styles I've built. So if I choose localized lockup, I get all of these options. So essentially, what I usually run is a brown noise flicker or a per LED flicker, but you can put in whatever you want. You can put in a style or a color. What this means is this is the cross section where the two blades would cross. So this is only that part that's affected. And typically what I do is I usually do an alternate color to what your main blade is, so whatever the other primary color is. So since this main blade is primarily red, I'll put a blue in. There is a flashing effect. You can choose that. So white is typically what I use. If you're doing like the animated series, that's usually yellow, but it can be whatever you want. You can also put a style in here if you'd like. And then I can choose the direction. So there's a sliding effect, like if the blades slide against each other. I can choose these are basically all it does is shift the gradient, but I can choose any of them. And then lastly, what you want for drag. And again, it can be a color or it can be a style. I usually use the random per LED flicker, but you can do whatever you want. So once you've got all these done, all you're going to do is click the View and Style Editor. And what it does is it's going to compile all that stuff in the right format and send it right back to Style Editor. So Style Editor is where you're going to check and make additional tweaks if you want. So I added an InOutHelper, so now I won't see my blade style till I hit power, but you'll see now it's got that same complex blade style that I had before, but now it's also got the clash effect, it's got the blast effect, and more importantly, it's got my localized lockup effect in place. So that's all in place there, and then you can make your further edits in Editor like you would anything else. And I can also go back in here, and if I wanted to change it to force lightning, I can do the same thing, and I'll just leave everything as is here, and I click View and Style Editor, and again it'll open a new window. But again, it's got that main blade style which I put in, and now when I go to my lockup, I've got the force lightning lockup effect in place. So the tool is just kind of a helper. It's most of your work's still going to be in Style Editor. what the tool does is it just helps generate the style for you when you get more complex. But hopefully it helps some guys out. Let me know what you think. If you find a bug, just shoot me a message. I'm still kind of new to this stuff, so I'm kind of learning as I go. But hope you enjoy. Thanks.